Hello, I'm Chylli from Channel Chylli, also known as Troy, and we are back with more Deep Sleep, Labyrinth of the Forsaken. Last time we left off, we were in the lighthouse here, and we were about to head over to the Library of Absolute. Which is basically just the Tower of Babel. That's the library of everything, I assume. The tower seems to stretch out forever. Whoa, just look at the place. Whoa, just look at the place, Amy muttered to herself as she crossed the sandy threshold of the library's doorway. A stone floor partially covered with sand quickly gave way to the wooden one. In front of her, there were two chests, possibly holding something of value. Amy looked around. The library was huge, and it was impossible to find what she was looking for on her own. She needed a librarian. This book is, in a pretty witty and funny way, telling the story of an ordinary person who, as it was, writing in stars, discovered weird black stains on the walls in a hotel. And then the dream ended. A person woke up. It was a man named Thomas who closed the book and put it on the shelf before he reopened it. A cookbook with various recipes. A recipe for a chicken and tomato paprika sauce describes a heroic soul who, before melting into a puddle of disgusting decomposing slush, discovered weird black stains on the walls in a small garden tool shed. The story has nothing to do with a toothless old man who shook his head in disbelief. Is a colorful magazine for teenagers. An article about how to deal with a breakup talks about an orphan named Cody who's exactly 10 minutes past midnight made friends with a small frog in an underground parking lot. The story ends at the beginning, with this time another person is present, a therapist with a dark secret who knows this will happen again exactly 1 year from now. An ordinary-looking book tells the story of a daughter of a wealthy man who, with a wide-mouthed grin, fell into a bottomless pit and kept falling and falling for hours with no end. The hole was located in a dark, spooky forest. Forced to witness it was a school headmaster who remains missing to this day. Oh god, just how many of these are there? It's a thriller about a heroic soul who, with a walking cane, played a game of chess against death outside of a train station. The story is then repeated, this time from the perspective of Jonathan Sapling, a geologist, cosmologist, and a crystallographer from SP4 who had seen all of it in a dream the night before it occurred. The book tells the story of a sneaky con artist who, as foretold by an ancient prophecy in the form of hieroglyphs on a temple wall, got in a fight with the locals in an underground tunnel. There is a very short mention of a sad mannequin who denies anything that ever happened. It's a small pocketbook about a doubting nun who, never to be heard from again, pulled a mysterious lever on a submarine. A last sigh of relief was heard. It was a random eyewitness who decided to make a movie based on these events. This book doesn't have a cover. The slightly damaged pages tell about a daughter of a wealthy man who, with a mouthful of freshly baked bread, met an untimely demise everywhere all the time. The story has nothing to do with a man suffering amnesia who was counting on you to continue his work. This is a modern history book. For some reason, between the events of 1970s and 1980s, there's a whole chapter about a curious reporter who, feeling an imminent werewolf transformation, turned into a mannequin in a poisonous swamp. Why doesn't anything like that ever happen to me, thought Jacob Salmon, an ill-fated employee who knew too much, who decided to do the same thing. There seems to be a script for a theatrical play about a wife named Maggie who, after ingesting poisoned food, met a time-traveling visitor from the future in stinky sewers. Someone erased the entire line with a felt-tip pen. The next readable line is about Dr. Scholzer, a Sidereal Plexus Corporation researcher who never admitted that he was wrong about everything that occurred. It's an electrical engineering handbook. Weirdly, in the chapter about calculating the resistance of a parallel circuit, it warns against a group of scientists who are feeling an imminent werewolf transformation. Couldn't recognize the reflection in the mirror by a remote cabin in the woods far from civilization. Someone crossed out the whole story and wrote lies over the last paragraph. Next line you read about Dr. Scholzer, a Sidereal Plexus Corporation researcher who was just an unimportant background character. This is a kid's book with large pictures and only a few words of text on each page. It is about a hard-working nurse who, while chewing on something disgusting, heard the howling of wolves and realized they began their hunt in an underground tunnel. A note about the author. The writer was a man who read this book before you and who was the only person who really understood what had happened. An ordinary-looking book tells the story of an experienced schoolteacher who, in complete darkness, wanted to know more about the history of the area and born by a house on a hill. The story then follows Joshua Seymour, a reporter from the Sunrise Telegram newspaper who was soon turned into a mannequin. This book is a police drama about Calpexia, one of the singers of the famous trio de Sirens, who had, as a part of a time loop, wanted to know more about the history of the area in a dark spider-infested cave. And then it turned out to be a movie on the TV watched by the archaeologists during an excavation who went missing in orbit around Jupiter. The book is a form of an instruction manual of some sort. For some reason, under the warranty terms and conditions, you read about a past victim of school bullying who, while chewing on something disgusting, accidentally broke the law in the halls of the office. The story had nothing to do with a bully from a nearby school who had no idea what really occurred in that story. Okay, I feel like all these books are just going to be nonsense, so it's not really worth reading into them too much. And I mean, there are a metric fuck ton, and I really don't want to deal with it. Hey, you there. You're in a library if you have not noticed. No running. But also no shouting, and most importantly, No whistling? That's a theater rule. Most importantly, no food or drinks. But also no whistling. I'll do my best. Librarian, just librarian. Not even the librarian. That would be quite arrogant, don't you think? I don't know, maybe you would mind a judge. Now that being said, welcome to the Library of Everything, Amy. Are you looking for something in particular? How do you know my name? So it's just the first time we've met. Forgive me, linear thinking is not something I'm really used to. I'm confused, but this really shouldn't surprise me at this point. So we've met, but I don't remember it. You don't remember it yet, or maybe it was some other version of you. Either way, I don't meet many people here, and the last ones I meet end up remembering. Do you know what the Guardians are? Drain Guardians, of course. I'm pretty sure I have a book about them somewhere here. I was actually wondering if you're familiar with a Guardian named Kutu. Oh yeah, I know them. One of the old ones. A good person, diligent and conscientious, has a unique fashion sense. What do you ask about Tutu? Tutu killed my brother. I mean, the shadow person got to him first. Tutu then severed the connection between the mind and body. Yes, that is heartbreaking. Being a guardian is not always easy, I presume. If Tutu didn't cut the connection, it would rot and break on its own. But then, the shadow that possessed your brother would be completely free to roam in his body, while your brother would be reduced to a similar dark, faceless creature. I think he already became one, or was becoming one. The severance caused Thomas to become who he is now, but nobody seems to know why. It saddens me that I cannot help you there. Sometimes the force of evil just strikes when least expected and where it hurts the most. That being said, what is done is done. One chapter ends and another begins. You mentioned the old ones, as in the old Guardians? Yes, back in the day, way in the past, things were a bit different. People had to believe in many things to explain what science could not have explained to them yet. Similarly, they asked for help, believing the same beings that they used to explain thunderstorms and sunrises would also come to their aid and need. You know the power of the human mind in this realm. No wonder the need for guardians conjured them into existence. Quite funny if you think about it, believing ancient gods created humans when it was the other way around all along. But those days are gone. For better or worse, people can explain the universe much better now, but they are still far from the truth on so many fronts. Nevertheless, they believe less, and so not as many guardians came into existence anymore. If they do, they're more personal, smaller and weaker, in the form of children's toys, for instance. Because children believe in their toys saving them. You know what? That explains why the plush tiger allowed the child in the second game to awaken. I'm looking for my brother, Thomas. Oh my, so this is that version of you. I'm so sorry, Amy. Wait, what? What do you mean? Nothing. Forget I said anything. I find that rather difficult, so if you can, please elaborate. Okay, Amy, there's no easy way of saying this. What your brother has become is an uncomfortable situation for everyone here, not just the ones directly involved. Death would be a salvation for Thomas right now. Delivering it would be a release, not just for him, but for the entire realm, and this is an obligation I would not want to wish on anyone, especially his sister. My brother died. This echo of his. I'll do what's needed to put it to rest. I'm here to find out how I can do it. Perhaps you came to the right place then. Maybe I can help you find the way. Whatever you do, keep in mind erasing his echo might not be the only outcome. What do you mean? What else can I do? I'm a librarian, Amy. I can point you to a book. Opening and reading it is your job. You mentioned that you could help me. I have to defeat Thomas. Yes, as a librarian, I can point you to a book worth reading. That's a figure of speech, right? No, quite literally. This is a library with all the answers, all the stories. Things that happened, things that will happen, things that could happen, things that never happened, and things that will never happen. The library has it all. You just need to know where to look. It has all the stories, including things that never happened and never will happen. What good can it do for me? Why should I care about things that could not and will not happen? That is why I want to point you to the book containing the right story, Amy. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but just like a certain guardian, you all talk in riddles instead of just telling me where I need to go and what I need to do. Why can't you just tell me how I can defeat Thomas? If it was only that simple, but think, Amy, how could I possibly know every story in the library? It's impossible to memorize every book if you have an infinite amount of them, but I know where you can find the book that you need. Your brother is untouchable. Nothing can harm him. He cannot be defeated directly. You know it, and so does he. Yet there's another way. And that way is described in the book you mentioned. Precisely. Alas, your brother knows this book exists, and while he cannot destroy it, he made sure it's well secured. Secured, he couldn't destroy it because of the nature of this place, right? Because it always contains a book about every possible version of events, so there is probably a book about how he tried to destroy that other book. But also, that other book will still exist. I must say, this is giving me a headache. And yet you seem to understand it perfectly. I mean, perfectly for a being with perception of merely 5 dimensions. 4 dimensions, to be exact. Details, regardless, the book. Come closer and I will give you something that you need to get to it. A key. I was expecting, I don't know, something less obvious. Is the book behind the door open with this key? No. There we go, I knew it. The book is kept away, like I said. Your brother doesn't want you to get to it, but it's not impossible. The key will lead you to a place where you can get a full picture. So not only are many people accessing the same place in their sleep, but also different worlds, different realities, as if things weren't complicated enough. The places where the fabric of reality can be shaped by the human mind are also the places where this fabric is the thinnest. And there are an infinite number of them. That's why you need an endless library to keep all those stories, Amy. If there are an infinite number of me and Thomas, how does all of this have any meaning? Realities influence each other, sometimes converging, sometimes splitting as they go. None of them are irrelevant, and each of them has some meaning, and this one should mean the most to you because it's the only one that's yours. So Thomas knows about the library. He has been here. Yes, he visited, leaving some of his chaos as you have, or will witness yourself. How did he know about this place? He has been here even before his unfortunate transformation. See, the library isn't nearly as hidden as you might think. Sometimes people that are looking for answers or alternate solutions to problems find it in their dreams. Thomas had been to the library without even knowing what it really was. Unfortunately, it led him to returning here later with more sinister intent. That being said, I strongly believe you can still stop him, Amy. He's got what it takes. Thanks for everything. Don't mention it until next time, maybe. Hey, you there, be quiet. Remember, you're in a library. What? I didn't even say anything. You're too loud. What do you want? I told you, be quiet. Don't make so much noise. It's a library and you're way too loud. Fine, how about now? I'm whispering. Is that better? Are you happy now? You're still too loud, Myth. Who are you? What do you mean? I'm a librarian. I work here. I don't understand. Why are you confused? Who are you really? I keep bumping into you. You look a bit different, but I remember you from the casino, from the train, and the hotel. Even my neighbor, who apparently was also a part of the dream. Miss, you're really confused. Please calm yourself, and most importantly, be quiet. It is a library. You have to be quiet for your own safety. Okay, we'll probably find the answer to this puzzle inside the locked room. That's entirely my bad for wasting my time. Okay, well now we're able to complete the painting puzzle down here. Damn, well now I'm confused because I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. There we go, we got it now. Recurring nightmares are often considered to be something more than just a dream. There are more than several documented cases of a nightmare actually coming true, which suggests they can be treated as a sort of warning. A prosthetic dream doesn't have to perfectly come to fruition. More often than not, the dream is a metaphor, a projection of the unconscious mind that has come in contact with information about events that are yet to happen. How is it possible, one may ask? Though the question still remains unanswered, we live in a world ruled by science and dominated by technology, yet there are some mystical things lying underneath the veil of reality that control our lives to a degree much higher than you, dear reader, could ever imagine. Whatever the case may be, remember that dreams are more than they seem. Just like not understanding physics doesn't make it any less real, the fact we don't fully comprehend dreams doesn't render them irrelevant. The golden statue in a lucky lump of coal briefly describes the principle of all that glitters is not gold. Not everything that looks or feels important actually ends up holding any value to us. In hindsight, so is this book. Sometimes you're holding a key to your success right before your eyes, yet you fail to see it. Have you ever faced a problem seemingly without a solution, only to discover it while it was in your hands the whole time? If so, this book might be for you. We cannot promise you will find the key right away, but we will help you turn things around in the right direction. This isn't an ordinary book. All the pages seem to be glued together in the cover. I think I can push something here. A small talk on the back of Beyond is a novel about a lonely spaceship's computer that's doomed to die tries to deceive the last remaining crew member into staying on board desperately to keep them around to not die alone. When the truth comes out, the astronaut has to make a choice, take a very slim chance of survival alone or stay with the conscious computer in their last moments. Okay, I think I have to go all the way back here now. I hope I can finish this video today. You know what, I may just make this 2 shorter videos. Damn it, I did it wrong. Oh, I have these on backwards. I need to change that one around. Oh, come on. How am I messing this up so badly? There we go. It was kind of hard to see the top and bottom ones there. Looking down upon the kingdom, the crown bearer sets the rules, judging order in his wisdom, guided by the shiny jewels. Oh, I see. It's based on how many jewels are here. At the very bottom depths, at the foundation, there exist 3 pillars of the dream. Upon their shoulders rests the whole weight. Without them it collapses. The dreamer wakes, the current falls. That's it, the dream foundation, breaking the pillars. Waking up the dreamer, Thomas. Not sure what it will do to him, but it will definitely end this nightmare. And then yeah, next time I'm gonna end this video when we get back to the White House, and then next time we will do all the endings. I found the book about Thomas. Splendid, I knew you could do it, Amelia. Please tell me, what did you learn? Thomas resides at the foundation of the dream, and within the foundation, 3 pillars are located. 3 pillars, let me pose an assumption. They support your brother's dream. When destroyed, the dream would begin to collapse. That's what the book said. What does that mean? What does that mean exactly? What would happen to Thomas? He can't wake up. He's dead. Indeed, this would very likely be the end of him. What is wrong, Amelia? If I may remind you, you embarked to seek your brothers and yourself. You expect me to be happy that I have to kill my own brother again after what you did the first time? I apologize, Amelia. I did not want to insinuate that you would find this deed pleasuring in any way. I'm deeply sorry for this predicament. It's fine, I forgave you, and I'm not taking that back. I'm really glad to hear that, Amelia. I'm sorry for this outburst just now. I know we're on the same side. Our friendship means a lot to me. I apologize for my lack of touch. I know a lot about dreams, but interactions with humans is not my specialty. I'll keep that in mind, so... The dream's foundation. Indeed, if we destroy the pillars, the dream will begin to collapse. Your brother doesn't have a body to wake up in, so he will crumble together along with his dream. I believe this is more than enough for us to get in peace. Us, you're coming with me? I still not fully recovered from my last battle. Nevertheless, it will not stop me. You move on and I will catch up as soon as I can. I will be with you at the end of the nightmare. I went to the Library of Absolute, an infinite place that contains every version of every story and event. I was looking for information on how to defeat Thomas. Chylli said that he would be indestructible otherwise, hinting at the very final depth of the dream. Hiding at the very final depth of the dream. It wasn't easy, but after traversing the library, I finally found a book containing that knowledge. It said that Thomas is still the one dreaming, and all I need to do is to destroy the pillars holding the foundations of his dream. Once that is done, it should be possible to defeat Thomas once and for all. But alright, that's where I'm gonna end it for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time when we continue with more Deep Sleep, Labyrinth of the Forsaken. So yeah, until then, bye!